How to not be stressed in college or in life in general. Hi, my name is Marissa. I am a personal trainer, I'm a college student, I'm a dancer, an entrepreneur. I try and do it all. And that is why I think I am a great candidate to tell you how to manage your time. I have a couple other videos on time management on this channel, but this is an updated version because I am going to be showing you hands-on me planning my fall schedule. And there is a lot going on now that I have YouTube going, I have just content creation in general. I need to implement that into my schedule, so it's a really crazy semester. This isn't just for college students. I implemented this in high school. If you're working full-time, part-time, anyone who wants to get more done and be productive while also enjoying free time, this is for you. First of all, this is not a sponsored video, however, I do use a really incredible schedule planning software called Shovel. I have been using this for about a year and it has just helped me so much to have a clear mind and be able to be on track without being overwhelmed. I've gone weeks without using it when I normally do, and I forget things. It's so easy to forget things when you have a million things going on, and this is a great way to keep everything in check. It's almost like having a personal assistant telling you what to do when. And that's just really helped me. So I'm gonna share with you my tips, but I'm also gonna show you how I put that into my schedule. But just for the record, you can also do this with Google Calendar, a physical calendar, a notebook, like a planner, really anything you want. This one just makes it a little bit easier. Tip number one, know your priorities and know them in order of most important, and then you can focus on your leisure activities later. But first, we're gonna focus on the main priorities. For me, that's school. For someone else, that might be work. Whether it's school or work, if you mess up, that could cost you a lot. So what I did was I figured out my schedule, what days of the week and what times I have to be present on a Zoom call. And if you're watching this outside of Corona time, this is going to be modified based off of coronavirus because most of them are on Zoom. One of them is a 100% online class, and so I'll talk about that in a second. The very first thing you're gonna wanna put in your calendar is your class times to make sure you are present and you know 100%. And obviously it becomes routine very easily. After 2 weeks, you know exactly when your classes are and which classes are at what time. But that is the first thing that has to go in, or else everything else is gonna be scrambled. So here you can see that I made my list of classes, and then after I do that, I move on to my other daily activities. Not all of these are in level of importance, but these were how they came up in my mind, and I just typed them in. It's really just like a brainstorming process. You have to brainstorm every little detail that you do. So of course, eating. Eating is number one. And that leads me into tip number two, which is prioritize cooking and meal planning and meal prepping if you do that as well. If you are not eating well and not caring for your body through nutrition, you are not going to have the energy or the brain power to be able to get through your days. It's gonna mess everything else up if you don't focus on that as one of your top priorities. So please make sure that you schedule out your times to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, to cook, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all of that. But anyways, go down your list of daily activities. Obviously, you're not gonna plan those one-time events. Like maybe you have a club meeting that you have no idea is gonna be going on or something like that. That can hold off. What we are doing right now is putting into our schedule the constants, things that you could do at the same time every single week. And then there's a few things that I added that I was like, oh crap, I can't forget about this. So you can definitely take my examples and apply them to your own life. Like if you forgot that you have to go grocery shopping, or you should probably put your chores into your schedule or else they won't get done. I know for me, if I don't block out time to wash the dishes, do the laundry, etc., I'm not gonna do it and I'm gonna wait until it's a pigsty. but that's just me. Everybody's a little different in that sense, but you do want to stay on track with cleaning. So now that we have all of our daily activities in our minds and written down, now it's time to actually put them on your schedule. So take your planner, your Google Calendar, make sure that these are visual to you so that you can see an entire week on one page. That's ideal. So for me, of course, the first thing I did was I put my class schedule into Shovel because that's not gonna change. And I need to make sure that I am always on those Zoom calls. And we'll talk about study time and all of that later, but make sure that that's also at the top of your priority list, blocking out those specific study times because we don't want to procrastinate. That is another huge tip I have, but I'll get into procrastination a little bit later. Then I'm basically gonna pick from my list of daily activities to see which ones I need to make sure are in there first. And then I go down the priority list to make sure I can fit everything, but emphasize the most important things. I'm also prioritizing certain days right now, so you'll see that I'm only putting things Monday through Thursday because those are the days that I have class. And then the weekend normally will vary a lot just depending on what you're doing. So I don't focus too much on what I put into the weekend school-wise. So you'll see how the second thing I added after classes was eating time. This is a good example of how you can clearly see that there's pockets for you to fill. For example, my Tuesday and Wednesday, there's 2 hours and 45 minutes available between me eating and having class for me to do other activities. So what you're gonna do is continue to fill in those pockets until you have everything that you need on your calendar and your schedule's complete. The next thing I'm going to put in is workout time because I already have a good schedule going and I want to keep that up. And I know that when it comes to school starting and so many other responsibilities getting in the way, that can easily be pushed to the back burner, but you also want to apply the same concept to eating and fueling your body, to exercising your body, and making sure that you remain active and healthy and feeling good so that you can get yourself through the days. It's actually been scientifically proven that exercise enhances brain function, which is great for you guys that have to study all the time. That's why I never sacrifice working out or studying if I know I can manage my time to study as much as I need to. I don't like to pull all-nighters because I know that if I don't get enough sleep, that's gonna lead to other problems down the road. So it's really just about prioritizing that study time, but also allowing time for nutrition and exercise so they can all blend and work together in synergy. If one thing is off, it's gonna throw the others off as well. So now that I added working out and eating after my workout to my schedule, it's been made very apparent that I'm not gonna have a lot of time to do the other things on my priority list Monday through Thursday. But thankfully, we have 3 other days in the week. And yes, you should take a lot of rest time on a dedicated day, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Since I'm lucky enough to not have Zoom classes on Fridays, while it is still considered a part of the school week, I am going to use a lot of that time to plan, create, and edit my content. If you are a content creator, blocking out those certain times for your mind to be a little bit more creative without thinking about a lot of other things is really important. I know for me personally, I get really overwhelmed because I'm always thinking about the next thing I need to do. So blocking out that specific time to sit down and really be able to think about what I want to create instead of trying to squeeze it in while I'm studying and while I have schoolwork going on, it's going to allow that creativity to flow a lot easier. Another thing that's worth mentioning is having a sleep schedule. I cannot stress how important that is. Train your body clock to know when it's time for bed and when it's time to wake up. Of course, I still use an alarm. It's not like I'm just magically awake. I mean, sometimes I am, don't get me wrong. But on days that I'm a little bit more tired, I still need that push to get out of bed at a decent time. I went through one of my spring semesters waking up every day at 11 a.m. or noon, and that killed my productivity, and I was groggy all day. I was at the point where I was getting too much sleep, But some nights I was going to bed at 2 in the morning, and that wasn't good either, because from like 10 p.m. to 2 in the morning, I'm not doing anything productive. So you need to use that daylight time, if that's when you thrive the most, which most do, to really get things done, and you're not gonna get things done when you're sleeping in. And I'm not saying you have to wake up at 5 in the morning. I wake up every morning at 8 a.m. Maybe not so much during the summer because I have more free time. I can do pretty much whatever I want. When the school year starts, I'm going to be getting up at 8 a.m. every morning, no exceptions. I think that's a good amount of time. From 11 p.m. or midnight to 8, I get a lot of sleep, I get good quality sleep, I'm refreshed in the morning, and I'm ready for the day. Now you can see that I have scheduled out everything that was on my list, and I still have plenty of free time. Maybe not so much Monday through Thursday, but Friday through Sunday is pretty open. You can see in my schedule that I also included times for live Q&As and live stream workouts, which are a new addition to my website and to my Patreon. Just recently relaunched my Patreon with even better perks, and I included those perks in the packages on my website. If you're interested in an intimate live Q&A where I can sit down and answer your questions for you, definitely sign up. And if you want to be held accountable and join me for live workouts every week, definitely do that as well. I am so excited to do this again. I did live stream workouts towards the beginning of quarantine, and it was honestly so much fun, and it was so great to hold myself accountable since the gyms weren't open, and to help others be accountable as well and prioritize their fitness. I also made sure that I had time for my hobbies, which right now is dance. And because of coronavirus, I am not going to be active on a team this semester, but I do have a membership for Steezy, which is an at-home training site for dancers. So I blocked out time to make sure that I do that, because I bought the yearly subscription in January and I haven't even used it yet, and it's almost September. So I need to make sure I get my money's worth too. So that is in my schedule. It's not moving. I am going to make sure that I dance every week. It makes me happy and I'm getting physical activity at the same time. It's a win-win. I cannot stress how important it is for you guys to be moving around, even though we are stuck inside for the majority of the time. Because we're stuck inside so much, all of our normal daily activities aren't happening, where we go and we walk around campus and all of that. You need to prioritize doing some type of physical activity, whether it's just going for a walk on a trail nearby, doing an at-home workout, finding time to dance like I am, and things like that. You don't realize how sedentary you're getting being in this type of environment. It's just crazy. And now that we have clear blocks of space that is free time, it's really important to also schedule out your relaxation time to make sure that when that relaxation time comes, that is all you are doing. You're not thinking about your classes, you're not thinking about your work, anything that you have to do. You are just being present in the moment. That is so important for your mental health. I have had burnout so many times because I don't prioritize relaxing. So I'm making sure that I have ample amounts of it this semester so I can stay strong when I do need to be productive. For me, Shovel puts in my study time for me as well, so that's not something I added to my list, because when I do allow for those pockets of time, they'll say, hey, you can study or you can do assignments in this time, which I think is great. But for those who don't have Shovel, it would be very important for you to map out the times that you dedicate to doing schoolwork and studying. If you wing it, it's not going to go that well. You're going to end up procrastinating and missing assignments, and that is never a good thing. Now, here is my secret for never missing an assignment and never procrastinating. I trick myself. I plan my week out in advance every week for upcoming assignments. While yes, I have Shovel to give me everything on a weekly schedule of every single task I need to get done, that does not include assignments until I put them in manually. I can either put them in all at once for the entire semester, but I'd rather not do that. I like to plan ahead in shorter intervals, so every Sunday I will take a look at Canvas, which is my online learning, where the information for all of my classes is, and then I'll look at my assignments for each week. I'll even plan it up to a week and a half to 2 weeks in advance, depending on how long the assignment itself will take. So obviously something that's worth 10 points is going to take a lot less time than something worth 100 points, so I want to make sure that I space things out accordingly. So what I'll do to implement Shovel into this is I will add the task. I will say it's due 2 to 3 days before it's actually due to make sure that I get it in not just on time, but early, so that it's out of the way and I can start focusing on other things. And that way I am literally always ahead. If you stay ahead, you are going to be so much less stressed out, knowing that you're not going to wait till the last minute to get something done. And the thing is, people say that they work better under pressure, so that's why they procrastinate, but the problem with that is sometimes the quality of the work is sacrificed because you have less time to get it done. So make sure that you block out specific times to get an assignment done. Let's say you have a 2,000-word essay due on Friday. I'm going to tell myself it's due on Wednesday, but then I'm also going to block out an hour each day before Wednesday to get it done. I know this sounds crazy, but this is how I stay calm while trying to get assignments done and work my way through college. I'll basically estimate how long a certain assignment is going to take, so I know, okay, if this assignment is going to take me 5 hours, I don't want to do all 5 hours in one day, especially as you can see my schedule is pretty crazy. I want to block it out so I can be the most productive as possible, because we all know with social media and the fast-paced life, our attention spans have gone into the trash can, and I know mine has a little bit as well. I can attribute that to TikTok for those freaking 15-second long videos destroying my attention span. So point is, I'm not going to do a 5-hour long assignment because I know that my productivity after that first hour or 2 hours is going to go way down. So I would rather condense it into hour intervals leading up to the due date. The time that I'm using is of the utmost quality, and I know that my brain is going to be working and everything is just going to flow so much better. So if you get literally anything out of this video, plan ahead your assignments for each week at least a week in advance so that you stay ahead of the curve and tell yourself it's due earlier than it actually is. The only times I have ever missed assignments are when I didn't plan my week ahead and I thought, oh, there's really not that much to do this week, I've got it. Telling myself that set me up for failure. So please listen, it'll save you a lot of stress, a lot of agony. The only thing that's left to do is to fill in and plan as I go, because there's gonna be events that pop up. It's okay to add an event in replacement of something else at any time, as long as it's not one of your top priority things. I can't really think of anything else to share, to be honest, but if I do while I'm editing this, I will put them up here. If you got value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. Right now I'm working with my mother's old camera that is a lot lower quality than the one that I've been using for a lot of my videos, so please subscribe, share this with your friends so that sometime I could actually invest in a higher quality camera to give you guys the quality videos that you deserve. I have a lot of things in the works and things that I am planning to do in the future for you guys, so stay in the loop and I will see you later.